One thing the Rocks of Harmony was known for, they was solid like a rock, high energy. It don't matter if it's a crowd, it don't matter if it's 2 or 3 people, they always sung with a high level of energy.
We all country boys, country boys, amen. We come up in the country, yes, and we know how to praise the Lord.
Just one large, huge, singing family, and they sang hard. The rehearsals was just like being on the program. They get their clothes off and sweat. And you would swear to God that it was on the program, but that's how they rehearsed, and they good, and it was just such a close-knit family.
Jackson brothers, we started off singing in Centerville, Mississippi. It was just 4 of us, my brother Lionel and my brother Frank and my late brother Leroy Jackson. We started off singing back in Centerville, Mississippi, and I was only 5 years old when we started singing quartet, and we was known as the Jackson brothers. My mother used to take us around to different churches in order for to sing that. That's how we got started off with the gospel singing as a quartet. It was just 4 of us. Wasn't using music back in those days, but it's just something that we started doing when we were very young. Nobody taught us to sing because my mother used to go around in the house humming all the time, singing, but she never would hear her sing out the words in the song, but she always hummed when she went around. And my daddy, when we was, I guess we were singing for about 40 years before I knew he could sing a song. He sung a song. We was out in Raceville, Louisiana one night, and they asked him to sing a song, and he got up and sung a song and knew all the words and everything and surprised everybody.
Good evening to you all. I'm Pop Beers with Beer Brothers, and I've been in this singing field ever since 1954, and I go way back with the Rocks of Harmony. I remember when we mostly grew up together, worked with 2 of the brothers of them, Sonny, we call him Sonny named Roh 70Th, DJ, and the 2 boys. I never went to school with them, but we all just worked in the field together, and we just been friends, and the dad and mother and father, we just seemed like one big family. They're nice, friendly guys, and all we just didn't never have in the falling out. I just loved the whole family, the Rocks of Harmony, mother and the father. Dad always called me, "Here come my boy." I would play the guitar. We had, back particular time, W.I., he was the lead singer, and he would play one guitar. Never had those bass and things, all like the drum in the groups and things, but there's a major group, and back in those boys, this was outstanding singers. They could just sing. They would just wreck a house. You get on the floor with those boys, you better know what you're doing, because they definitely know they could sing. W.I. played cross note on that guitar, and I'll never forget one time they had W.I. wasn't there. They had me to play for them, and Walter Crocker said, "Now you cannot play like W.I. Why don't you?" And another guy told him, said, "You just play like Robert Bill play. You know you can't." But we just got along just like 2 peas in a hole. I just love those boys. Now I never went to school with them, but like my son said, my wife thinks he went along with his baby brother.
W.I. Jackson came here first, and he got a job on the riverfront. He came back to Centerville and got his other 2 brothers, which is Daniel, the late Daniel Jackson, and Roosevelt Jackson. Brought them to New Orleans. Then he came back and he got Lionel and brought him down here. Then he came back and got my brother Frank. And I came here after I finished high school. I came here to be a part of the Rocks of Harmony in 1961.
But DJ, Sonny, even Doyle, and nobody speaks about Doyle.
Yeah.
But I knew Leroy.
You're right.
I knew him. There was 4 of them. I think there's 4 of them out on the river. Let me make sure. 4 out on the river. No, I'm missing somebody.
Leroy went on the river.
Yeah, I know. Leroy was out there.
Everybody went on the river, but
But you went Lionel.
Lionel worked out there a couple of days.
Yeah, I got you. See, that was it.
Couple of days.
But they had a story for them working out on the river. Because they had this thing you used to get hired up. It was nothing for the Jackson brothers to get hired up.
That's right.
They look for them. Where them Jackson boys, and one of them, gonna find one of them in WI, they just work. They knew how to work. They worked to work.
Right.
There wasn't no shame about working.
The group was organized, known as the Rocks of Harmony. The oldest brother, the late W.I. Jackson, he organized the group along with our pastor, the late Reverend Freddie Dunn. Right there at the New Hope Baptist Church. It is located right there on Washington Avenue near Magnolia. And Reverend Freddie Dunn gave us the name, the Rocks of Harmony. I regularly joined New Hope. Each time one come, they would join, because my oldest brother and DJ and Roosevelt, they was already members of the church. And when Lionel came, he joined. And when I came, I joined. And all of the brothers joined that church. The entire group now belongs to New Hope Baptist Church, except one person. That's Michael Stewart, our second lead guitarist. He's from Christian Unity Baptist Church. Quartet music, well, we strictly traditional gospel music, you understand? They got different types, but we strictly love traditional gospel music, and that's what we've been singing all of our lives. We done been offered from time to time. One time wanted us to sing the blues, but we never would go that route. We always enjoy singing gospel music. First place we performed was at our church, New Hope Baptist Church, there on Washington Avenue. They used to have that New Year's Eve program every year. Reverend Freddie Dunn started that on Washington Avenue, and that was the first big program that they did, was right there at our own church.
Rocks of Harmony was known for 3-part harmony and a stickler for traditional gospel music. They held to the traditional roots. They sung spirit-filled every time they hit the floor. It didn't matter what order they were called on to sing. It didn't matter. They just sung Rocks of Harmony style. It's a unique style. It's hard to describe, but I can say in all these years I haven't seen any group, whether professional or whatever, be able to copy their style of singing, even sound like them in any way.
Oh, I need you, Lord. Come on, Lord. Come on, Jesus.
Well, the inspiration was behind the song. See, Brother Lionel, he could put songs together just riding along. We was going along. We went out to St. Louis, Missouri, and he was just sitting in the hotel. And when he noticed his thing, he had to put a song together, and we came back and recorded. I found all I needed in the Lord. But his songs, as you go along, we like to change a song. If you might hear a song that's somebody else's song, but you want to make it your way, so use the different words. You don't want to use the same words that they use it, but you might want to go on that style with it, but you use your own word.
My oldest brother started me off on the river. He was working in the whole gang, and his fingers got so he couldn't work them up and down on strings. And he came and told me, said, I'm gonna have to let you play, try to sing and play, because I can't get in trouble. My fingers and things is too stiff, and I can't handle them on strings. So I started from there, and we had a church here in the city back there on 2nd Street. And one night we went back there, and he started out playing, and he just, like his hands froze up, and he told me, he said, I can't go no longer in this. So you take the guitar. And I took it and started off with that. Ever since. And different guys that had been playing for me, I'd ask them questions and things. Yet I did it. Yeah.
He's able to sing and play the guitar all at the same time. Ain't too many lead singers likes to play for themselves and then lead the song too. And he was good at that.
I met him when I was a little boy, and I learned from their older brother, which was W.I. Jackson. That's who really taught me to play for any and everybody. And I learned a lot from them because when I started playing, I couldn't even tune the guitar. And he helping me with tuning the guitar, but just to tell the truth, it was James Chapman showed me my first couple of chords. But W.I., which we call him brother, same person, he showed me 97 chords. And that's why I know how to play this style. I was with the group from 68 to like to 1970. I was only with the group like 2 or 3 years, that was it. But in my being in the group, we was able to do a recording, what's the name of the recording, Drew? Down on My Knees.
Down on My Knees.
And
God provide for his own.
God provide for his own.
It was a part 1, part 2.
Part 1, part 2. And I forgot what's on the flip side of Down on My Knees. I forgot, it's been so many years.
Tell the Lord.
Tell the Lord. And that was a 45 I did with them. And it was good. It was already on the map. Rock's Harmony was already on the map, but that kind of brought us a lot of places, especially like to Prentice, Mississippi. But their group and their style was unique.
Listen to this. Sure enough, he will. He'll provide for. I'm a living witness, he will. I know he will, children.
Rock's Harmony, 70 years is a long time. 3 scores and 10. And that's a long time to be out here singing. And their group was well known. They didn't go overseas and didn't want to go. It wasn't that they couldn't go. They just didn't want to go fly out across that water. DJ probably wouldn't mind, but Andrew and the rest of them just said, no, we ain't going over there. So they turned down their trips for going overseas. And but anywhere else, they was ready to go. And it's like I said, this time, it'll take me this time tomorrow just to give you half the story for my involvement with them. But I love them like brothers and uncles and daddies and everything, because everything was in there for me when I came, because I came as a little boy. And I stayed with Lionel, lived in this house, just till I can get on my feet, because I was flat on my back at one time and needed somewhere to stay. And Lionel opened up his house, him and his wife. I lived there, and I'm not the only one. The other people actually just lived with it. It was just opening heart up, and you can stay with them and eat, sleep, go to work. You all right. As long as you wasn't doing nothing wrong, everything was good.